ball, finds a hole up the middle.
Steps up, goes deep left side, receiver open, counting, touchdown Titans! Takes a nice shot outside the goal box and he will break the 0-0 tie. Fantastic shot by Kenloff Solon.
Giller makes a move, a good one, opportunity here, the Bears score! The Bears strike first.
He's at the 40, he's down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jalen Bryant. Why not? What a beautiful run.
Maureen there, fights her off the puck, opportunity here, another sit, and a goal! Second chance effort for the Pioneers.
Put the icing on the cake, if you will, Michael. Go down and got to the outside and said good evening and good night.
What's shaking, TV19 sports fans? We are here to bring you some boys high school soccer. As you can see, we're on the beautiful field of Tartan High School to watch Tartan play host to the Hill Murray Pioneers. I am Sam Erickson, sitting alongside my esteemed partner, Alex Westad. How you doing this evening, Alex?
Well, Sam, I'm doing all right. It's a perfect night here for soccer. Let's get this game rolling.
That's right. You said it's a nice night. We're going to take a look at that weather. It is a little bit cloudy, some sun poking through. Got a little bit of wind northwest at 10 miles an hour, and the temperature sitting at 62 degrees right now, but might dip a little bit as the sun starts to set. Well, those are the weather conditions for you, but now let's take a look at the conference conditions. A couple teams at the bottom looking up.
Well, still plenty of season left in conference play, both teams coming in at 0-1. But if you look at their overall records, too, Tartan at 0-6, Hill Murray at 1-4. We need some leadership to come and step up for both of these teams so that way they can flip their seasons around.
That's right. Somebody's has got to go. And you talk about leadership. Number 10 there for Hill Murray is Troy Tisser. He's a player we're going to want to watch and take a close look at. We're also going to take a closer look at our matchup here tonight.
Well, quickly talking about Tischler, he's been a scoring threat for the Pioneers so far this season. He's got 3 goals, 1 assist, and Hill Murray has no home games until September 15th. This ends a 6-game road trip for them, if you will. For Tartan, they haven't scored since September, and they've only scored 2 goals all season long, and 4 seniors on this team will look to lead their team to victory.
Should be a good matchup for you. Have the opening kickoff when we return. Want to thank you once again for watching this presentation of high school boys soccer on TV19 Sports.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Welcome back, TV19 sports fans, as we await opening action here tonight from Tartan Field. As you see, the Tartan Titans at 0-6 play host to the Hill Murray Pioneers at 1-4. Both of these teams looking to get their first win in the Metro East Conference.
Sam, I tell you what, this goaltending matchup I think is interesting for us tonight. We have, for Hill Murray, we got Taylor Mazer starting again. He started in our last broadcast on Tuesday. He got roughed up for 7 goals against. It'll be interesting to see how can he rebound from that otherwise unspectacular performance. And then for Tartan, sophomore Sebastian Avila gets a start here tonight for the Titans. So we'll be able to see, can he be able to stop enough of the goals and the offensive capabilities of this Hill Murray team in order to get Tartan that first win on the season, and a conference win too.
That's right, and it's going to be crucial for Avila to keep Hill Murray off the board. One thing for Tartan is they've struggled to score, so they're going to want to play solid defense. Haven't scored a goal since their second game of the season. In fact, only 2 so far on the year, so they're going to want to keep it low scoring and maybe try and shut out Hill Murray and get a goal themselves. Take a look at the Hill Murray upcoming schedule as we await action here. You see they have St. Thomas Academy coming up on the 15th, and they travel to Minnehaha Academy and then return home against De La Salle. Kind of got a triple header against private schools here in the Metro. And now the Tartan schedule, home couple times in a row with Hastings and Henry Sibley, both Metro East matchups. Then they traveled to Matamidi on the 22nd for another conference game.
Sam, that Matamidi matchup's always interesting. The squad in Matamidi, very good, very talented, and will be interesting to see, can Hill Murray be able to match them power for power.
And we just heard the opening whistle, and we're ready for action. And we're going to start things off in the Tartan half. Hill Murray on offense, and we got our first throw of the game. That is number 17. He'll get it in.
Tartan starting to swarm the ball. We saw that last week where North St. Paul provided a lot of pressure on this Pioneer forward and midfielder team, and they were able to cause a lot of turnovers.
And 17 in black for Hill Murray is Jake Yoakum. Hill Murray wearing the all-black uniforms, and Tartan in the white tops and blue shorts. And Jake Yoakum is going to have to track that ball down once again and throw it in. A couple of throw-ins here early.
Interesting decision to keep play on the far sideline for the Pioneers. You'd like to see them stretch it out, work the whole field.
I'm sure after that North St. Paul game, they'll be happy just getting some time in the opponent's half. Game pretty well dominated by the Polars, although that is a darn good soccer team just up the road.
It is, and we saw a lot of encouraging signs in the second half of that game last week. But already just in this first minute and a half here in the game tonight, they've had the ball in the Tartan defensive zone for a lot longer than they did for North St. Paul last week.
And try and work it amongst each other. Not so successful, but they'll be able to keep the ball until it is booted out by number 9, John Lamb, playing left back in defense.
Lamb was a player that I was very interested to watch last night. He's got a lot of speed in that defensive position, and he's able to move the ball well, keep play in front of him, and doesn't give up a whole lot of plays behind him.
Tartan now with a chance on offense. A turnover, and Hill Murray will give it right back as they knock it out of bounds. So Tartan will try and regroup and get things going on offense. Tartan trying to play it along the far sideline, unsuccessful. And I believe we have an illegal throw call.
My goodness, Sam, there's been a lot of whistles here in the early going.
Yeah, they were playing on that far sideline, making it easy on the two of us.
I'm sure that poor official over there on the far sideline is getting real tired, raising his arm up and down with the flag.
I was going to say, getting quite an arm workout. And we'll continue to play up that far sideline. Once again, going out. Taking the throw this time will be number 3, Brett Ethier, junior midfielder for the Tartan Titans. And Ethier just trying to knock it upfield to change position, but it goes out of bounds again. And 17, Jake Yoakum, getting it from a fan, and once again throwing in the ball as we're ready to resume.
Tartan's got to do something here. They're facing too much pressure early, and we have a little breakaway here. Quickly snuffed out, though.
And neither team can really get anything going there on that far sideline. I think both coaches kind of asking their team to work it more into the middle.
Well, I think for this being the first game of the season between these two opponents, there's going to be a bit of a feeling out process between them, where both teams haven't had the best success this season. So they want to figure out what's going to work against this team so we can get the ball into the attacking zone and manage to sustain some sort of a pressure, which hasn't worked quite as well for either side.
Tartan nearly getting a chance there, but Hill Murray does a good job to step in and squash the danger a little bit. A good step from 17, Jake Yoakum. He plays it up to Sean Little, number 21. They venture up that far sideline once again.
Starting to get a little more physical from both teams, too.
You mentioned this is the first and only time these two teams get together on the season, so there's going to be a little bit of feeling it out. Also, these two teams, a lot more inexperienced than most of your varsity soccer squads. See a lot of 9th and 10th graders on these rosters, so maybe a lot of players out there getting used to varsity soccer, still in the early season.
Well, in our open, we talked about how for the Tartan Titans, there's only 4 seniors on this team, and like you were talking about just there, I think the inexperience has really hurt Tartan because there have been some winnable games. Last Saturday, they lost 0-1 at Farmington, and then another quick loss here at Tartan Stadium to Bloomington Kennedy. So the opportunity's there. They just have to mature and have some experience here at this high level.
Sometimes it can be a good thing for these young teams to have some bumps in the road early, learn from that, and hopefully be able to turn it around as the season progresses.
Well, still plenty of time because everybody makes that section playoff. So if a team can get into a hot stretch, as long as you avoid a team like a North St. Paul or like a Stillwater even in that section draw, then you can really have a chance to maybe do something if you get hot at the right time.
Well, not good communication from Tartan, as Bennett Pagonski felt the pressure, well, didn't feel the pressure and got the ball taken off him. Hill Murray now with it. And good over through ball to Sean Little. Little tries to cross it in, and it'll be cleared away. That's number 4, Eric Maliki, on the clearance.
Sam, I tell you, I like the play to the corner because that way they can set something up, trying to get a screen in front of the goal. No shots on goal yet here as we approach the 8th minute of this game, but I like getting the ball in deep. I like putting it to the corner so they can set something up somewhere in the midfield, try and get a good scoring opportunity.
You got to wonder about the height of this Tartan team, too. It looks like a lot of the Hill Murray players a little taller, so maybe that's another strategy. They're trying to work it into the middle, get it to some of those taller players.
Well, the downside, of course, of having those shorter players is there's a little more speed on this Tartan team, too. And we can see it when they're going, as long as they keep the ball off the sideline and get it into the middle of the field.
So not a whole lot of action here early on, a lot of midfield play. Just about 8 minutes into this one. If you're new to high school soccer, 2 40-minute halves, counting down to 0. Clock pretty much runs all the time, stops for injuries, and it'll stop for goals. But, out of bounds, things like that, the clock will continue to run.
Just had a foul there in the middle of the field. Hill Murray midfielder made no effort to play the ball, just simply tried to hold back the Tartan midfielder.
And we'll take a look at that foul right now. You can see, got him wrapped up a little bit on the shoulder and arm. And there's number 10, Troy Tischler for Hill Murray, doing a good job advancing the ball through midfield, but Pioneers eventually will give it away.
Good recovery there by Hill Murray defensively. That's number 15, the senior Bechtold.
Lamb with the throw-in, can't find a man, but knocked out by Tartan, and he'll do it again. That's knocked back, and Tartan will just clear it from danger.
That's a real interesting decision there. I know that you're trying to clear the danger away and set up defensively, but why not try and clear the ball down the field as opposed to kicking it out? You have Hill Murray set up now maybe 15, 20 yards from the goal. Why not try and clear it? Get your defense a break that way.
Well, and just as you say that, ball goes out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Tartan. Not sure if the commentator curse is helping out there. Looks like they could need some help. That was Morgan Geese knocking it out for Hill Murray. And the goal kick is taken by Tartan, and that is number 12. Excuse me, that was number 23, Joe DiMartino.
Kind of a big guy for a defenseman, but definitely has the leg strength. Got it well clear of midfield.
You see that a lot in high school soccer, where the goalie doesn't always have the biggest leg, and an outfield player, usually a defender, will take that goal kick. Tischler trying to keep possession, and does. You'll see number 10 in black throughout this game. Very smart player and very skilled.
You might have been able to pick up on our mics here, but head coach for Hill Murray's Jeff Zupfer decided to tell his team to start passing the ball, and we can see there all right on that play right there. A good tackle from the Tartan.
Tischler goes down, no call. Looks like defender got the ball. Referee was right there and didn't signal anything. But Tischler looking dangerous. Now 21 Little, he centers it, shot, takes a deflection, and yes, a goal. Number 20, Ken Boblitz, gets the Pioneers on the board.
Sam, I think this goal started from the defensive breakdown after the tackle. We can see that the ball's going into the corner, and Pioneers have numbers going in. Boblitz is able to get that ball well over the goaltender Avila. 1-0 leading for Pioneers.
And you could say there maybe was a little bit of hard luck there off the deflection, but Boblitz had a lot of room to get that shot off. And when you're that close to the goal in soccer, anything can happen. And you saw the little run there from 21 Sean Little. Tartan didn't really close in on him either, and that really allowed for Hill Murray to get the numbers and get that shot off.
Well, so far for the Pioneers, when they can keep the ball in, 1 shot, 1 goal. We'll see if they can continue that here as we keep going.
We talked about Tartan struggling to score so far this season, so definitely not the start that they wanted to get off to, as we are down to 28.5 minutes left to go in this first half, and Hill Murray already has a 1-0 lead.
Well, even further going on off of that, just ball possession as well. You can't score if you don't have the ball. Tartan's had the ball for about 5 minutes here, and Hill Murray's had it for well over 7. So if that stat continues to improve for Tartan, maybe they can start getting some pressure on goal as well without having a shot thus far.
Yeah, and the Titans have hardly had the ball in the Hill Murray zone, or half, excuse me. There's a clattering challenge as we'll have a foul. It looks like number 7, Jack Jurgensen, just getting a little antsy, came in a little bit late and fouled.
I agree with that foul there. No real effort to play the ball. He just took out the Tartan defenseman.
He wanted to get to a space, but I think he just got there a little bit later than he anticipated.
Well, maybe again, if we're looking here, because there's another ball out of bounds, maybe if they spread out, they might be able to get something and not have to dominate for that space. And I'm sure that's a goal for both teams here, is to keep the ball in bounds, keep it in play.
You see the size advantage from 21 Sean Little there on display a couple of times, able to work around a couple of Titan players. Number 17, Jake Yoakum for Hill Murray, has definitely got his fair share of throw-ins, throw-in practice this half, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
We are hardly through this thing.
Maybe we threw it in a little too far or too close to the Tartan net.
Yeah, I think he just walked it up the field a little bit. We'll do it again. And missed touch by Jurgensen, and he won't be able to keep it in. We'll have another goal kick.
A little bit of frustration there for Hill Murray. Again, they're working the sidelines too much. Get that ball to the center. You can hear the coach again saying pass the ball, but they just haven't been able to.
I think a big key for that, too, working it to the center, is you see number 10, Tischler, going up for it. Is, you know, you get it into Tischler, and he can make some things happen. He can make some men miss. There he is with the ball. He's going to switch it over. Far sideline, Yoakum with a strong touch, but able to recover and stay with it. And he'll play it back. Oh, nice job coming forward. Andrew Moon, number 12.
Might be able to see a little bit of a rush forming here for Tartan. They finally gotten some pressure, but right again, just as they're trying to move up the field, Hill Murray takes the ball right back.
Hill Murray with it in the corner, knocked away. I believe we'll have a corner, and yes, we will.
Looks like it'll be Tischler to take it here for the Pioneers.
Second ball right there, second ball.
First corner of the game for Hill Murray here. Looks like they're setting up, trying to charge the net.
Tischler with the in-swinger finds Little, and it's going to be headed off the line by the Titans. I was wondering where Sean Little might end up on that corner. If they try and find him, I'm going to look for him again, and a Titan defense is equal to the challenge. Andrew Moon in there, coming up from his defensive position to join the attack. Now Tartan is just going to get rid of it, try and switch fields way out of net. Taylor Mazier, but he hasn't had much to worry about.
Something to keep an eye on, though, too, Sam, is that Mazier does like to travel out of his net to play the ball. We saw it last week where it led to a couple of goals for North St. Paul. So I'm sure that he'll want to be able to stay a little closer to his net, because as much as he wants to be up in that play, you have to stay back in case something comes your way.
That was a great ball back out to Tisch. It unlocks the whole thing.
Shuamua, number 10 for Tartan, trying to get it out to Will Percy, but just too strong. Quick throw in from the Pioneers.
Looks like Tartan's playing a mostly defensive mindset here. You had five or so Pioneers back deep, or maybe it's just Tartan or the Hill Murray Pioneers playing back because they have that goal and they know that Tartan doesn't score that much. So playing the strengths maybe here.
There you go, step up, step up.
You see the Hill Murray defense is starting to come up a little bit, with Tartan only having one player up front, and that is number 9, Braden Albert. And we're going to have a substitution. And that's a little unfortunate, as Tartan maybe had something going there with a throw-in in the Pioneer territory. But Titans elect to do a substitution, and Logan Jones is going to toss it in. Jones can't find a teammate. It's going to play a little pinball and go back out to the Titans. That was number 17, Antonio Curiel, just come on for the Tartan Titans. Tischler trying to make some moves. No call from the referee.
I'm surprised he didn't get a call. He didn't even touch the ball at all on that.
And Mazier way out of his net, can't use his hands, and he's going to get rid of it with the feet.
I think it's the right idea there to get the ball downfield, but as we take a look at this one here, look at Tischler's speed. He's got one guy right on his tail. As we look for the slide, yeah, took him out.
I think the referees missed one there. Maybe was shielded by the play a little bit.
Well, maybe. Didn't really see where the head official was, but maybe the linesman might have seen something different or saw a touch of the ball that we just didn't see from here.
Didn't really see any of them, either of them, signaling anything. So I think they missed that one. Regardless, Tartan enjoying a nice spell in the Hill Murray territory, but as I say that, turnover. And Andrew Moon looks to play long, but can't.
There's a whistle. That's a good foul call there. Completely away from the ball. And looked like, as you can see, Bechtold doesn't seem too happy about that call. Doesn't even make a play on the ball. He's nowhere near it. And we got the clear there from Tartan. And
you see just a little shove from behind, kind of had his elbow, forearm on the back of the Tartan player. Good call from the officials there.
Spent some time having a nice conversation with their head official. Didn't seem to like that call too much, but once the whistle blows, that's just what it is.
Tartan can't do much with the free kick. But Hill Murray can't do much once they get it. And we'll play along that far sideline once again. Count down to about 20 minutes left to go here in the first half. 1-0 Hill Murray. Getting the goal from Ken Boblitz off a deflection in front of net. Tartan plays it long. Knocked down by Andrew Moon.
Might have been the best chance Tartan's had all night. They're just a little too high in front of the net, unable to get some sort of a deflection, maybe a header or a quick little kick on goal just to give something that Mazer has to stop. As here we are, 20 minutes into this first half, and there's only been one shot on goal this entire game.
Logan Jones to throw in. And John Lamb winning the header. Boblitz, nice play on the other side of the field to Sean Little. It takes a step around the defender, but good job, Sebastian Avila coming out of his net and snatching that one up.
I like that. That's a good challenge. A lot of Hill Murray guys deep, still within that box where the goaltender can play the ball. Good choice to come out and challenge it and just stop play there. Try and get Tartan moving the other way down the field.
Avila with a good find off the punt.
A lot of communication on the Tartan side, too. You can hear them shouting from the field to give some sort of a direction to their players.
Tischler has it, turns it over, and Tartan nearly pouncing. And a battle on the far sideline, won by Jack Jurgensen. He tries to flip it ahead to Ken Boblitz, who can't stay on his feet. Well, he does stay on his feet, but trips up a little bit. And Sebastian Avila will pick that up.
Turnovers are getting frustrating for both sides. You can hear them shouting at each other. Just keep the ball in. Don't turn it over.
Yeah, it looks like both sides aren't on the same page with each other. Both, teams, players are not, in sync right now.
Definitely not. And I think that might be why Coach Chris Galbraith and the Tartan Titans decide to sub some people in there, maybe get the chemistry on field going a little better. And it seems to have worked as Tartan's been able to move the ball down the field now, but they still don't have a shot on goal.
And long shot. Won't challenge Avila as he snatches it out of the air. A high kick going right to Hill Murray. Boblitz doesn't read the run of Jurgensen quite right, but Jurgensen does a good job to run it down. But then he'll tap it out of bounds. Momentum will take it, and we'll have a goal kick.
Nice little feed there from Boblitz to get in there, but like you said, Sam, he didn't read the run of Jurgensen all that well because Jurgensen had all of the Tartan defense beat. As long as the play was onside, he could have had a clean shot on goal from maybe 10 yards out.
And goal kick again. Goes right back to Hill Murray. And that's something Tartan can't afford. Get it back. And nice run. Looking for a man. Good step, number 15. Lucas Bechtold maybe saving some things there for the Pioneers.
Really good offensive opportunity there for Tartan. But again, you need people there. You need somebody in the center that you can get a good, clean shot on net. Like we said earlier, Mazer likes to venture out of his net, maybe not cut off the angle as well as he should, so that could create opportunities for Tartan if they just get the ball in deep and are able to get somebody who's open right out in front of the net, maybe a tap in, something slow, short, just to finally break that scoring drought for Tartan.
I thought I heard a whistle, but might be coming from one of the practice fields nearby as we continue action. Tartan unable to do anything with that opportunity, and Hill Murray looking to go the other way. Jurgensen, not the touch he was looking for, but it'll stay with Hill Murray.
Sam, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm getting frustrated with all these out of bounds too.
Well, the unfortunate thing for us is that it's on the far sideline, so it's even harder for us to see the players in the action. Wouldn't mind it as much. It was maybe closer to the old broadcast booth up here. Avila gets that one, and he'll kick it up the field. Rattles off a couple of heads, and Hill Murray's got it. Just out of the outstretched leg of Sean Little, and playing it out once again will be the Tartan Titans. That was number 3, Brett Ethier.
Again, that play doesn't make any sense to me. Try and keep the ball in. Try and just send it downfield. Don't kick it out and give them an offensive opportunity that close to your own goal. That was a little better there from Tartan, where we see that Connor Dura Ekstrom was able to clear it out, but not to give the Hill Murray a good offensive opportunity. Or I'm sorry, that's Bennett Pagansky making that play.
Take that ball off your chest. Hey, take it off your chest rather than sticking your foot up. Right? Take it off your chest.
Gansky now to Curiel. Curiel looking to play it through, but it'll hit a Hill Murray foot. Go back to the Pioneers.
Work now. Work now. Before the ball comes.
Good clear from Tischler. Tischler seems to be all over the place here.
You got no pressure there. Make them
And I'm thinking that is definitely by design, as number 10 is definitely showing some ability out there.
Well, when you have your best player on your team here, it's almost like if you were to go and run out Cristiano Ronaldo out here in one of these teams here, and you'd want him to have the ball as much as possible. And if Tischler's that for the Pioneers, keep giving him the ball.
Absolutely. And that number 10 jersey, usually a good indication in soccer of one of your better players on the field.
Nick.
Substitutions coming in here for both sides.
Step up one. Tish, step up one layer.
Like number 9, Braden Albert's going to return. He started this one.
In the middle. You and Moon together.
For Tartan, as well as number 8, Zhang Yang, coming in for the Titans.
And then for Hill Murray, it looks like we have 18, the senior Ben Bonin, coming in.
Bob Litz, the goal scorer, trying to go, get that corner, but can't quite get the cross in. I should say turn that corner, rather.
Well, either way, I think Hill Murray would like a corner here. Only one in the game for either side. Get some sort of a good offensive threat set up.
Lamb taps it forward to Tischler. Tischler sees Sean Little making a run. Little might be able to get there, but his legs are just a little too short. But good idea for number 10 in black.
Hey, let's drop and win it again.
So not much to tell you about here tonight. Going down to 12 minutes left. As you see the replay of what we just saw. Good job by Avila there, understanding that Little wasn't going to get it, and that it would result in a goal kick for Tartan if he just let that one go. Tischler rides the challenge, gets the call. Not sure he liked that. He maybe wanted the referee to let him keep going as he got past the defender there.
Well, I think that when the referee blows the whistle on something like that, if it's borderline, you get frustrated just because you want to be able to keep the play going, but now you have the whistle. Tischler's able to set up. Looks like they're setting up something on the 10-yard line.
Tischler's going to loft it towards the box. Headed backwards. And nearly disastrous for Tartan, but that back header goes wide, and it'll be a corner kick.
Let's go with it. Jake, you're there. John's behind it. We're good.
There's Troy Tischler. He's going to take the corner once again. I believe second corner here for the Hill Murray Pioneers.
Setting up a similar play to the last time where they have everybody maybe 20 yards out. No. Or what do we got going on here now?
Not sure if there was a foul called before. There was a foul called as the players were trying to make moves on the corner, or if they reversed the decision on the corner and thought that Hill Murray had headed it out of bounds. Tartan had definitely headed it out of bounds. Pioneer coaching staff was looking for an explanation there, and I'm not sure they were very happy with it. Mazur once again coming out, and he'll play sweeper keeper and get it out of bounds. You know, you do have to wonder about that. Not sure that was all that necessary, and with a team who's struggling to score goals, I'm not sure I would pull my goalie out like that and give them an opportunity at an empty net look.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do. I'd be very worried if you're the head coach here for your goalie who's giving up these opportunities that, while he's been perfect so far, what happens when he's not? What happens if he doesn't corral the ball effectively and then all of a sudden it's 1-1?
Absolutely, Alex. I mean, he's been 100% so far, but in a game where, as we can see, one goal makes a huge difference. The one time you're not right could be bad. Antonio Curiel, surrounded by 3 players, loses out on the ball. Bonin passes it back. Little trying to cross, and it'll be knocked up into the air. Say suspicion of handball recognized by the referee, and Hill Murray will have a decent look at a free kick here.
Good, John. Thank you. Second ball, Troy. Second ball.
Everybody's on the line. A couple of Tartan defensemen sitting there looking to block.
Tischler just decides to fire in a net, one hops, and Sebastian Avila is there for the save.
Good save there by Avila, squared to the ball. Didn't have to move too far.
And I like that idea. Maybe just throw it in on net, see what happens. You don't know if Avila might spill it out, for a rebound.
Well, especially on a free kick like that, too. If you can, take a shot, get it high up, make him have to jump, move to be able to make that save.
Absolutely. Just didn't have a great angle, to bring in that cross. So I like that decision. Didn't work out. We'll have another free kick here. And 17, Jake Yoakum is going to take it for the Pioneers.
Running off of it. Kenny and Bonin running off of it.
It's a long kick upfield. And Tartan will return it back.
Come on, we gotta get that. Watch what he's gonna do. There, we're good. Put him under. Put him under. Fill it.
Tartan still without a shot on goal as we're in the 33rd minute of this game. Something's got to change here.
We can see that Hill Murray is definitely moving their defense forward. You see the 2 wing backs kind of already up, just 2 defenders back, and then Taylor Mazur kind of playing as a sweeper keeper. I mean, he's at the top of the box as we speak. So that may be, a coach's decision that the more players Hill Murray can bring into the attack, the better chance they have of, just scoring goals and building a lead. Their one win this game, they did surrender 4 or this season rather, they surrendered 4 goals. So they might try and just outscore their opponents.
Yeah, that might be something they want to try doing. They haven't, when you look at their schedule, the least amount of goals that they've given up in a single game is 3, which by soccer standards isn't a whole, it's too much.
Absolutely. So far, though, holding Tartan without a shot here tonight. But the Titans are working things in the Hill Murray half, but give it up. And the Pioneers will have a chance to do something here. Tischler with it now. He's going to try and loop it ahead. And Avila coming off the line to collect once again.
Good challenge there. Wasn't quite sure in his defense there, so good call to just come on out and get it yourself with your gloves.
And unable to do anything there.
Antonio, you're way too high. Come on.
Curiel down the right sideline. He's going to look for a cross, cuts it in, trying to go onto his left. Out in front. Hill Murray unable to clear. Shot from distance, take a deflection, and Mazur's there for the save. Looked like number 10, Shuamua, the 9th grade midfielder for Tartan with the shot.
Well, that was the first
on net.
Oh, sorry, Sam. That was the first shot of the game for Tartan, and a good opportunity. Tartan was able to get in deep, be able to escape the defense. But even though they were able to escape it, the Pioneers still had 7 guys back, so not a whole lot they could have done. Just smart to fire it on net because we see that Mazer was well out, and maybe something good can happen.
I was going to say, there's a good chance Mazer might be out of position, anytime that Tartan is threatening. So throw-in goes into the box. Bonin trying to battle for it. And call will be a goal kick. 5 minutes remaining now. 1-0. Hill Murray got a goal in about the 8th minute. That came from Ken Boblitz.
We have a substitution for the Pioneers. It'll be Dan Stone coming in to replace Morgan Geese in the midfielder area. The sophomore replacing the junior.
Tischler with it still. Does a little roulette. Tries to get off a shot. Does. But an easy save for Sebastian Avila. And Dan Stone saw a lot of action against North St. Paul. It's kind of surprised not to see him start here tonight. But he's out there, number 3 in black. John Lamb doing a good job shielding the ball. I really like the enthusiasm that Lamb throws the ball in with. He really picks that thing up and is ready to rip.
Maybe there's a bit of a defensive strategy to that too, where he's maybe showing a lot of effort but not going that far to throw off the defense, maybe create some sort of an opportunity like he looks like he's doing here for the Pioneers.
Tischler with it, has a lot of space. Shoots again and just high.
Love seeing the fancy footwork there from Tischler too.
Yeah, it looks like he's made a decision to kind of give more of an individual effort, trying to make some things happen individually. So you see there, taking on a couple defenders. That time I would have liked to have maybe seen him pass it off, actually.
That, I think I agree with you, Sam. He has 3 shots of the 4 for Hill Murray. Maybe pass it off, try and get somebody else to get some sort of an opportunity for your team.
Looks like there was a lot of people out there standing around watching him make those moves. And it looked like a couple of Tartan defenders were starting to drift from their people. Had a couple of Pioneers in space, could have got it to him, and had a good look on net.
Well, I'm sure Hill Murray's happy with this 1 goal. They should be having more here. Looking at their overall stats, they've had the ball for 24 minutes in this game.
I was just going to say, Tartan might be happy with just the 1-0 deficit.
Or even the 1 shot on goal so far.
Shuamua, number 10 in white. He'll try and play it up the left sideline. He does. Turn. Cross comes in. Nobody there. And Mazer will handle it with no problem. Not sure who Braden Albert was looking for on that one.
Again, there's that defensive strategy. You just kick the ball out of bounds and get your defense set up. Surprising to see all of Tartan up near the midfield mark where you have the defense back. So maybe trying to get numbers back because Hill Murray would have had a good opportunity there.
And we will have a handball. Shuamua couldn't do much about it. Doesn't love the call, but it did kind of get up on his forearm. So we'll have a free kick to Hill Murray. And you notice there after Jones played that ball out, about 7 or 8 of the Tartan players were back defending. And I think that's just kind of been their strategy, because Hill Murray has definitely brought their defenders way up. Yoakum runs over it. Tischler fires, hits the wall. He's going to try and scoop it up, but Jones will head it out.
I think we saw that play last week against North St. Paul, too, where we had Yoakum fake and then Tischler take the shot. So far, they're 0 for 2 on it. It'd be interesting to see if they could try it again, but maybe make a pass to the corner or do something different, because I think that shot hasn't been working for them.
And, you do have Yoakum faking with Tischler actually taking the shot. It's not going to be much of a fake out if Tischler takes it every time.
Right.
You had to imagine that Yoakum was kind of more or less a decoy on that one.
Well, I think Tartan knew what Tischler can do coming into the game here. So they're well aware of his abilities, and somehow they've been able to keep him off the scorecard tonight.
So about 30 seconds remaining here. First half, 1-0 Hill Murray. And you got a whistle coming in from a practice field, throwing me off, but not throwing off the players as they continue action. And ball just ushered out of bounds by number 4. That is Eric Maliki. Little crossing it as the clock is counting down. And it won't find a player. And that will do it for our first half. It's 1-0, Hill Murray leading. We'll have that first half goal for you and the second half kickoff when we return.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, baby. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Well, taking a look at the only tally from the first half. Hill Murray leading it 1-0 on the Ken Boblitz goal about 8 minutes into this one. I'm Sam Erickson with Alex Westad here to bring you the second half. As you take a look at the fan section there for Tartan, hoping that their team can get on the board and pick up their first conference victory here in the Metro East. They look a little huddled together. They are. Temperatures dropping a little bit here as the sun goes down. And I think I see a couple of raindrops out there, albeit very few.
Sam, I like the Tartans starting with the ball here, even though that's just the de facto way the game works, because they had the ball for a grand total of 15 minutes in the first half. We'd like to be able to see Tartan get the ball a little more and maybe do something with it, but also when they're in their own defensive end, maybe not kick the ball right out of bounds and actually carry the ball up the field to try and get some sort of offensive pressure to get that first goal. Like we mentioned in our open, they haven't scored since they played Cottage Grove on August 30th. They're desperate for a goal, and they're even more desperate to get a win here.
That's right. And just as you said that, Joe DiMartino kicked it out of bounds, but Tartan will take the ball and see what they can do. And you said they didn't have much possession of the ball in the second half, and actually they got quite a bit of their first half possession towards the end of that first half. So kind of the start of this game, they really didn't see much of the ball at all, so at least they're kind of moving in the right direction and might be able to score one here in the second half. Chance for Hill Murray, and Morgan Geese lofts it just over the net, and we'll have a goal kick.
As we can see here on the tip in there by Geese, he's got an opening here, a couple of guys back, and he just sails it high and wide.
I like the idea, kind of, turned out the foot there to get a little curl on it to get to the right corner. Just didn't stand over it enough, and it goes high and wide.
Hill Murray, though, not stopping their offensive first mindset, trying to get shots on the board, try and have Avila make some sort of a mental mistake. On that first goal, like we saw when we came back from break, no real chance to have on that ball as it was high and over him, but he's been able to stop everything since.
Be a target. Be a target. Go ahead. Oh, the idea's there.
Ball with Troy Tischler, number 10 for Hill Murray now, and he'll play it back to Jake Yoakum. It's a surprise to see Yoakum out on the field and not chasing after a ball for a throw-in. But he does play out there. And starts the Hill Murray attack, looking dangerous as Jurgensen tries to get past the last defender. He can't, and Tartan will clear it.
Very, very dangerous ball. You can see there as Avila stopped it the first time, it just kept on spinning. And thankfully for Tartan, he was able to control it, but just not a good opportunity for Tartan.
Nearly were out on the break after that clearance. Kevin Tao had a lot of space on the near side, but unable to do anything with it. Hill Murray going to play it long. Logan Jones tries to clear and hits it just hard enough, but Jurgensen has it now. And Avila will be equal to the challenge.
Again, shots keep coming for Hill Murray. Just put it on goal, see if anything can happen.
Yeah.
Jurgensen right high into the breadbasket of Avila.
Yeah, sorry, Alex. I thought Jurgensen might be able to track that down as Jones wasn't able to get it out of bounds. He did, but the shot, not much of a challenge for number 80, Sebastian Avila, in net. Take a look at those last two chances.
Yeah, you can see that spin on that ball. That's some nasty spin, tough to play. And then here on the Jurgensen chance, fakes out the defender. Good shot on goal, angled well to that high corner, but can't quite beat the goaltender.
You see Avila doing a good job. It was completely square to Jurgensen on that one and really didn't have to move at all to make the save. Andrew Moon, the defender, going to try and come up in offense. He'll keep it alive for a second, but then it'll trickle out. We'll have a throw. DiMartino takes it. And Kevin Tao's touch lets him down just a little bit.
Tartan starting to move back the other way. Nice little nifty couple of head passes there from the junior Moon to try and keep the pressure on Tartan, but turnovers have been haunting Hill Murray so far. That's why it's only 1-0.
Geese trying to get it inside to 21. Sean Little can't do it, and the ball will go out for a Hill throw.
Kevin, you've got to get your body turned so you can accept the ball up the field.
So 7 shots to 2
Look in the other direction.
in favor of the Pioneers. Tischler with it now. He's going to try and cross it in long. And keeper will swallow that up.
To White, Sebas. To White.
Doesn't really seem like Tartan's on the same page again. Good tackle there.
Release that ball right away.
And no call from the ref. But number 17, Antonio Curiel, unable to keep it for the Titans. Good move and nearly a nice give and go between Little and Morgan Geese. But Little returns it just a little bit too strong.
If the guy's too close, you don't play it to him, right? Make a better choice.
He really faked out the sophomore Seng Yang moving in. Looked like somebody fell down there just with the simple stutter steps, a couple of quick moves. Hill Murray keeping the pressure on here. Meanwhile, doesn't look like Tartan's got a whole lot of anything going on. Just trying to keep the ball in deep. Looks like we'll get a goal kick here for Mazer. Hasn't been challenged too much here tonight.
Yeah, really the only action he's seen is when he's come out as basically a sweeper. Only really needed to make one save. That was a distance effort, just kind of right into his breadbasket. Mazer will try and get this one upfield. But Bennett Pagonski there.
Another out of bounds there when Tartan had the ball, but nice to see that they're moving the ball back into the center of the field, trying to spread out the Hill Murray defense. That's how they've gotten their chances. They've been able to spread out the defense and create open lanes to pass, but also to dribble the ball upfield as well.
Looks like we'll have a foul on a push. Not sure I saw a whole lot there, but the referee did, and Tartan will have a free kick.
Sam, I think on first look, I agree with you there. Not a whole lot. Maybe just an excuse to blow a whistle and change possession, but I thought that play was clean.
And DiMartino going to take it. Nice ball in to the box. Tartan can't do anything with it.
You can feel the field start to tilt here as Tartan's getting more of an offensive threat going. A couple of turnovers from Hill Murray aren't helping, though.
Curiel trying to make a fake to get space and get a shot off. Now he'll race around some defenders, but doesn't have the angle, so he'll play it back. And maybe should have tried something there. Tartan trying to keep it in. They will. Ball will stay with the Titans.
Sam, I've been watching Hill Murray's Blake Forsyth making a couple of plays in this game, not really holding the ball specifically or being an active participant in the game, but he's shown a lot of leadership just by directing his teammates, making some communication. I like what I've seen out of the juniors so far.
And he was a player who he saw a little bit of action late in that North St. Paul game, but I think impressed a little bit. And he's found himself a little bit more action out there tonight.
Well, I'm sure that's what Jeff Zupfer, the head coach, decided to do, is that he saw players that were making impact plays last week, especially down the stretch as they were losing late, and giving them an opportunity to play some meaningful minutes here tonight.
Yoakum, good step to win possession back for the Pioneers. Tischler tries to play it in, a little too strong for Jurgensen, and cleared. We'll have a substitution, number 4. Stephen Polsky going to come in for 3, Dan Stone.
Only 14 minutes in the game for Dan Stone. An interesting decision to go with Polsky.
Tischler now with space, has to get by one defender, can't, leaves the ball, but will keep it. And he'll have another opportunity. And I think offsides was the call, yes. I think it was Morgan Geese who just wandered a little bit offside there.
There's that sideline play again coming in for Tartan. They can't keep it off the sideline. When they do, there just isn't enough communication here on this team. No one's stepping up and being a leader like I'm sure Tartan needs. And you haven't scored, as we've said multiple times in this broadcast, you haven't scored since August. You need somebody to step up, create an opportunity.
I think both teams play in the final third have really let them down. No one's really, you know, sometimes they make a move in midfield, make a good pass in the midfield, but then when they get close to the net, it just kind of all seems to go awry. And that's one of the reasons we're sitting at a 1-0 scoreline.
Well, it's interesting, Sam, for both of these teams, when I looked at their rosters and I saw how they organized their play on the field, they don't have a lot of forwards or strikers on either side. Hill Murray on their roster only has the 3, and Tartan has 1, maybe 2 that I can see. So not a very offensive-minded setup for either team.
And it looks like number 17, Antonio Curiel, is kind of is now sort of playing the striker role for Tartan. He was more of a midfield in that first half. Good turn from Sean Little. He tries to play it through to Jurgensen. Jurgensen is offsides, but good job from Sebastian Avila getting off the line and quelling a little bit of the danger.
I really like the challenge here, even if this play was offside. Maybe just a little bit too far. But yeah, nice job to get the challenge out, lay down low, cut off any sort of a low shot.
Shuamua with the head. Curiel tried to knock it above Tischler. Unsuccessful, and now Tischler will take it.
Pressure's starting to come for Tartan. They need to create an opportunity, do something. You can see how close they're swarming the ball. They have somebody who's always running after them, as we have a little contact there.
And Will Percy wins it back for Tartan. Curiel on that far sideline trying to make a move, but just doesn't have the pace to get ahead of Lamb.
Didn't really have the numbers either. 1-on-3, not an opportunity even in soccer that you're going to score a lot of goals on. Tough to get open, tough to find a way to get a good shot on net. As Mazer, again, only 2 shots against. He stopped both of them tonight.
Logan Jones with the far throw, finds Shuamua's head, But not much steam on the header. And Taylor Mazer with an easy save.
Push him on the highest guy, you take the next guy.
Jack, get to that sweeper, number 4. Jack, get to number 4.
Sean Little plays it to Geese. Good job by Logan Jones disrupting the play a little bit, getting back on defense. Hill will still have it in a dangerous territory. It's knocked around a few times. And Stephen Polsky will elect to play it back.
Try and reset, get another opportunity. Maybe take a good shot from the point, because it looked like Avila had been getting rattled with a couple of shots he's been facing, and he's had trouble managing to hold on to the ball here in the second half. So maybe try and get some sort of shot on, see if you can create an opportunity off of it.
And good job by Hill Murray stringing together a few passes there and getting themselves a corner. Tischler sends it in, low and headed away. Bennett Polanski now with it. And just way too strong of a touch on that through ball. We do have a whistle. And it's going to go against Tartan. Ball to Hill Murray.
I believe we had an offside there. We had a couple of misplays. The senior Jurgensen wasn't happy with one of the officials' calls or non-calls. Stayed back a little bit to have some words with that official.
And that ball nearly falling to Jurgensen in a dangerous area. But he hits it off the side of the foot and it goes wide. Thought it might take a deflection and be a corner, but referees say that it didn't hit a Tartan player and we'll have a goal kick.
Here we go. Good shot, good shot. Kevin, you got to read that. You don't want to be right on his heels when he's going to win the ball. You got to come off.
Sean Little tried to play it ahead, but dealt with by the Tartan defense.
Again, we've seen many times in this game where if it doesn't seem like Tartan knows what to do with the ball, they'll just kick it out of bounds and try and stop and get set up again in front of their own net. It's got to be getting frustrating for the team to continue to have to do that, though, at least the 20th time in the game.
Avila just out of his reach of Avila and knocked out of bounds. Another corner to Hill.
Third corner of the game coming up here for Hill Murray. I'd like to see somebody besides Tischler take it. Yes, it seems like he is the best player on this Hill Murray team, but I think that giving another player an opportunity to maybe step up and do something could be helpful.
And although he didn't take it, I like this switch up of strategy there as he played it short to Jake Yoakum. Yoakum had a good look, but even better job by the Tartan defense to step in and get a body in front of it. 'Just under 24 minutes to go here. Raindrops beginning to fall a little bit. I think it might just be a passing shower. 1-0 Hill Murray leads off the first half goal from Ken Boblitz.
Looks like we'll have a substitution coming here. Will Percy's coming off, and Casey Keller, the freshman midfielder, will be replacing him for the Tartan Titans.
You look at a couple of these players like a Keller and a Will Percy, and not only are they young, they definitely look young, but you gotta like the upside for Tartan in the near future, that they've got a lot of players getting some good varsity minutes. And that one slips by. Mazer way out there, and he's gonna have to scramble back to net. Luckily, the Pioneers have control of the ball.
That's so very, very risky from Mazer to come out that far. As you look on the football field, he was out at the 30-yard line, maybe 40 feet out of net. If he would have stayed there tripped up, couldn't get up, then you're giving Tartan a huge opportunity. And for a team, again, that hasn't scored since August, you cannot give them a gift basket goal like that could have been.
Good turn from Curiel, but loses it. And you got to wonder if they're wanting to do that just because Tartan really only committing one player forward, far forward. But if you look at this Hill Murray defense at this point, they have 4 players back. I'm not sure they need the goalie to be the 5th defender to go against the 1 forward of Tartan.
Absolutely not. It doesn't make It doesn't really make any sense, especially with Tartan not providing a huge offensive threat. Only 3 shots on goal thus far. Keep him back. Give your defense, trust in your defense, that they're able to make the plays needed so that way you can stay on top.
Yeah, and for Tartan, you got to wonder, there has to be a point. They're still committing a lot of players back in defense. There has to be a point where you just have to, gamble and go for it. We'll see if they start inching players forward a little bit here as the second half goes on.
Well, Sam, I think you got to start inching players forward at some point here. Down by 1, conference game, and while your season isn't going as intended thus far, maybe even bring this game to a draw would be a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. And, they haven't shown us much of a threat of scoring, but I still believe that Tartan very well could score a goal out here tonight.
Another long shot coming in. You see a lot of that. The Pioneers are doing that now, trying to get a long shot and get somebody in deep onside so that way they can get a good offensive opportunity, maybe get a second goal here, because I'm sure they're not comfortable with this 1-goal lead because Tartan is pushing. And if they're not careful, they might get that draw against them.
See, now here we have Curiel with the ball, lone by himself, 5 black shirts around him, where if he has just any bit of support, he might be able to make something happen. Now they have some support to keep the ball in possession, but still outnumbered. Good play from Shuamua, but no teammate able to chase it down. Shuamua, number 10, another bright spot here for the Tartan Titans, also a freshman, already wearing that number 10 jersey. And we'll take a look at him here. Gets tripped up and gets the foul.
Well, Sam, one of the things that you talk to your players a lot about is that you succeed at the low level, then you come up to this high varsity level and you struggle a little bit. And this first year might not go your way all the time, but then with years of experience at the level, you know the competition, you know what people are doing to set up. That way you can succeed at this level and eventually get to maybe a conference championship or a section championship or even make it to the state tournament as well.
Sure, North St. Paul wasn't always great at soccer. They built that program slowly. Hill Murray and Tartan in action here tonight. Jones coming in with the slide tackle, does it clean, but the ball is going to stay with Hill. And John Lamb up and ready to throw that thing in.
Nice choice on the slide tackle. Was able to make sure that he got contact with the ball, because if he had avoided the ball, that could have been very risky, not only for the Tartan defenseman, but also for who he was taking out as well.
And good anticipation from Avila. He's been another bright spot here for Tartan tonight.
Well, I think part of why he's been doing so well is that for Tartan, the head coach, Chris Galbraith, he was the assistant coach at Northwestern and has a goalkeeping specialty. So he's been able to pass that along to Avila and the Tartan Titans' second goaltender, Garrett Kierzek, who's not playing tonight as well.
Troy Tischler almost making a move. I'm not sure who Kevin Tao was trying to play it to there. As the ball's turned over.
Surprising to say the least that Tartan doesn't have anybody on those turnovers where there's a ball that goes deep in their zone. I mean, I'm sure that they're not trying to give up any sort of an offensive rush the other way, but still, go for that ball. Try and get a threat going downfield instead of giving Tartan the ability to get set back up again.
Well, and you see Coach there after that long boot from DiMartino's kind of asking questions of what was the idea there. Don't just kick it into anywhere. I mean, you do want to clear it out of your zone, but at least give one of your players a chance to chase it down or do something with it. Has to be somewhere in the area, which you were kind of touching on just a second ago.
Number 20, Mello is back in the game.
Sounded like we had a substitution there. Ken Boblitz moving back into the game.
And Hill Murray might be excited to see him. The lone goal scorer here tonight. 1-0, still your score. 17.5 left to go in this one. Boblitz with it now, going to try and play it forward. Can't quite. But Boblitz will keep possession after some shoulder to shoulder. Kevin Tao with it. And Tao with no pressure on him was looking to just boot it away. I think if he would have just kept that one, maybe could have found a teammate.
Might be a good idea to get Tartan to look for some subs here because, again, the chemistry's not there and the opportunities aren't coming. Get some new, fresh legs on there. There are guys who have been sitting on the bench the whole time. As we see, we got one coming on ready for the sub switch. But something's got to give here as we got a little give and go going back the other way.
Number 2, Casey Keller, a little too strong on that one. He's looking good. Freshman, number 2. Nice little run up there. And if you're a soccer fan, he's got a good name. As shares the same name as the legendary goalkeeper for the United States national team, Casey Keller. And that's about all he and Casey Keller have in common. I believe the goalkeeper well over 6 feet, whereas young Casey Keller, number 2 on Tartan, hasn't quite reached that milestone yet.
Well, speaking of size, Sam, the height for Tartan and their deficit in that category seems to be coming into play here, where when balls are going high, Hill Murray's very easily able to head those balls to other players, but Tartan can't get up in order to make those plays, and it's getting to be a little bit frustrating that they can't get those 50-50 balls where if they were taller, they could get down there.
Yeah, they should really be looking to work short passes on the ground, kind of take advantage of their speed. As you see the height of Hill Murray coming into play there. Bennett Pagonski unable to get a good foot onto that one, and you see Taylor Mazur right there has got it for the Pioneers. He will kick it out, and he'll travel as far as Shuamua of the opposing Titans.
Starting to get some pressure, but oh my goodness, another turnover there. Just a little too far for the defenseman Ethier there.
And he'll touch it out to safety. Hill Murray with the throw.
As we'll have another substitution for Hill Murray. Looks like Dan Stone coming back in.
And I believe Stephen Polsky exited, number 4. It's a quick switch. He was right on that sideline. Boblets unable to get there.
That might be something they try to do to just keep those legs fresh for a team that appears to be defensively mindset and get their defense to have some sort of a rest. They have 5 on the roster, so I'm sure they're doing their best to fluster through those people as quickly as possible, but also to make sure that they're well rested, especially here with 14 minutes left to go in this game.
Push him up. Antonio, you got to come back and help. Now you can get involved. See? There you go.
Antonio Curiel now with it. Drops it back for Pagonski. Pagonski drags the foot and keeps the ball with him. He's racing up the right sideline.
This might be the first rush where they actually have somebody in the middle, but again, you have 3 guys that are in deep with you. You have 2 on the left side, you have 1 on the right. Make the pass. Don't take a shot from 30 yards out. Get closer. Because again, we know Mazur likes to come out. We know Mazur can take bad angles at times. Give him the opportunity to make those errors before just taking a wasted shot on goal.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about that is Pagonski actually had a man in the middle of the field. He would have just kind of squared it to him. They would have had some space kind of out in front of the net, albeit a little far from the net, but I think it would have been the better option.
Oh, I agree. For the 4th official shot of the game for Tartan, all of them have come out from the midfield point. Nothing really in deep, no good chances. Give yourself the opportunity to make those chances by passing the ball, getting in deep.
And lucky for Hill Murray that they got that early goal. This one's really looking like another goal is going to be very hard to come by. Unless Tartan starts committing a lot of players forward, I can't really see us getting another goal on the scoreboard.
Sam, I think I completely agree with you. Tartan doesn't have a corner yet either. It's not looking too good for either side to get a good offensive threat here, so this might hold up as it is.
Well, Dan Stone, just as we were saying that, nice ball in, but Dan Stone unable to get there.
As we get the ball back to center field there, we can see that the height again not coming into play. Some questionable plays as Tartan's not really able to play the ball exactly how they want to, and they can't move the ball upfield. So again, we have another ball that goes out of bounds because they're unable to sustain the pressure as more subs come on.
Had a lot of play in the middle of the field here tonight. Not a whole lot of great action to tell you about. The one goal, though, still the only tally, and that's what's got Hill Murray in the lead.
Looks like for Tartan, Josh Bell, the freshman, again, going with youth, comes on here for Tartan.
I believe number 9, Braden Albert, also making his way back on. Sophomore midfielders. So you see, not only do they have a lot of sophomore and freshmen on this roster, but they definitely are playing quite a bit of those freshmen and sophomore.
Josh, you take a guy and push him up.
Well, it's interesting to see that even of the seniors that they have, you have Eric Malicki, the midfielder who's been on the entire time. But then you also have Leonardo Acevedo Suarez, who's been sitting on the bench this entire game, maybe because of injury, because I see that he looks like to be in a sweater and street shoes, but still get some of that senior leadership out there.
Yeah, 2 of their 4 seniors have not played yet here tonight. And it looks like Little got a little too big on that one, and we'll have a foul. Ball go Tartan's way. So only two seniors really getting serious action out here tonight, and hardly a junior either. Looks like Brett Ethier and Joe DiMartino are really the only juniors that have played a lot. Bennett Pagonski as well.
Looks like we have a stoppage here. One of the coaches for Hill Murray is not satisfied with the way things are going, so the head official steps over to give him a conversation, maybe explain some things. But Hill Murray seems to be frustrated with the way the calls have been going, even though they lead this game late. Gotta wonder, what are they frustrated about? What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm not sure I would, if that's referring to that last foul call. I mean, it is a little difficult because of Little being bigger than the opposing player, but I still think he got a lot of body into him, and I think the referees actually got the right call there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We've seen a couple of times tonight where Hill Murray has reacted negatively to a call. It might be a borderline call, but it's still curious decision to see why argue that when you're leading. And you want those officials to be on your side, so be the respectful people about that. Maybe try and make another strategy somehow and just see what you can do with that.
Also just having the stoppage in the game, kind of slowing the game pace. You know, when the team is doing a good job of keeping Tartan out of the net, keeping the shutout intact, just giving Tartan a chance to kind of set up a play off that free kick or set up some kind of strategy. I don't know if you'd want to do that either.
But at the same time, you saw that Tartan was pushing down the field, so maybe this gives them some sort of another opportunity to maybe stop that push that the Titans were having and gives their defense a chance to set something up again, maybe talk strategy as well. The Titans look to clear out of their own zone here, and Hill Murray gets the ball right back, starts going the other way.
So we've got 10 minutes to go here. We'll see if Tartan can make it interesting. They've got a nice turnover in the middle of the park. Passed out wide, chased down. And ball will turn back over to Hill Murray.
One thing that I've noticed Tartan doesn't seem to be doing spectacularly well tonight. They seem to be leading their forwards and their midfielders a bit too far on those balls as they're trying to move up the field, and it's giving Hill Murray opportunities to take the ball over because you're right on the sideline. But another good turnover there.
Nice job Pagonski getting the ball, but Sean Little even better job winning it back. Pagonski with it, decides to give it up. Probably could have carried it a few more steps. Can't get around Morgan Geese. And a bad touch from the Tartan defense after getting it back from Geese. They'll fight for it and get it once again. John Lamb now up the left-hand side. He'll get it to Jurgensen. Jurgensen with the cross. Tipped up onto the bar by Avila. Rebound to Boblitz. Can't get it. Scramble out in front of net. Back to Jurgensen, and he fires it wide.
I think that right there, that series of plays right there is when your head coach is a goalkeeper, that you have a huge fountain of knowledge, and that really saved Avila here. As we look at this play coming in, a good shot comes up off that right-handed glove, and then he's able to sprawl out, make the rebound. Boblitz has a great chance there to put in an easy rebound for a goal, but decides to pass it out, be unselfish for his teammates, get somebody else to have a goal, and then Tartan avoids a major threat there by the Pioneers.
And how about the decision from Avila to try and punch it up over the net rather than catch it, get it with two hands, smartly knocks it up, and although it didn't get out of play, it at least hit that crossbar, so doing just enough to keep it a 1-0 game. You see Mazer trying to come out once again, hesitated, and Tartan might have an opportunity because of that. But Braden Albert's touch kind of letting him down.
Taylor!
Casey Keller with the shot. And Mazer scrambles and hops onto the ball.
I'd like to see Tartan start pushing up here. They're looking at a 1-goal deficit with about 7 minutes left to go in this one. But again, as we just saw in that last play, they have one offensive forward moving into the zone, and then Hill Murray has 3 guys back. You have to be able to at least match them and have any sort of an offensive chance.
It's a numbers game. I have been impressed with number 2, Casey Keller, for Tartan. He's got some good skill. Maybe he got a little while until he'll really be an impact player on the varsity level, but I do like seeing him get some minutes out here. And definitely, he's got an ability to get past a defender or two, and his small size, he might get a little bit lost out there, and I think he might be the best shot for Tartan to really make anything happen on the offensive side of the ball. He's got a quick step, very fast, the little guy. Not fast enough on that one, unfortunately.
I've also been impressed for Tartan with number 10, Shua Mua, the freshman. A lot of good plays in the midfield. Looks like he's trying to spread the ball out, but again, just might be too little too late for Tartan tonight.
Just strong on the touch. It looks like Tartan is bringing some players forward, at least when they get on the attack. Jurgensen with it now. He steps past the defender, but can't get the shot off with the space he would have liked. And they're going to call that a goal kick. I thought it certainly took a deflection off a Tartan defender.
I completely agree with you, Sam. I don't understand why this is a goal kick here.
You just kind of look here at Jurgensen's body position, how he could have hit it to the right, but actually, maybe he did slice down on it with his foot and just hit it off the right side of his right foot.
I like that chance for Jurgensen, too. He had all sorts of room, but then the Tartan defense was able to rebound nicely, cut him off so that way he didn't have a clean shot on goal, and maybe he did slice it to the right of the net because he didn't have that opportunity to put a shot on goal.
And Tartan looked like they might be figuring something out, trying to get it out to Keller there on the right-hand side.
Gotta get to it, Mac. Gotta get to it.
You got to wonder with some of these decisions from the Tartan coaching staff has to do with, maybe it's not about wins and losses so much this season, but more about just growing the program and getting better. So, some of these things that we're talking about that we're a little curious about, maybe there's a bigger picture in mind and really trying to teach these players something as they move forward, not just this year, but in the coming years.
I think that's a good choice. I think that once you have these players and these freshmen and these sophomores that have had experience in the system and know how to run the offense, how to play the defense, I think that can really have a good impact on Tartan as they're moving forward. But in the meantime, for Tartan, the students, families, and fan base, it has to be frustrating.
Logan Jones with the long throw.
Another play that's just too far for the Tartan forwards. But again, we see here the speed of Hill Murray as they're able to move the ball up. A quick little turnover there.
Morgan! Get back in the game!
You can hear coaches yelling, get back in the game, as if players are losing focus on both sides of the ball.
Dan Stone with it now, chips it in right side. And Avila with the save.
Josh! Try playing that position correctly now. Come
Good
on.
shot there. Good save from Avila. Shot number 10 on the game for the Pioneers.
I was just thinking, although they haven't been too difficult of saves, Avila is racking up quite a few saves here tonight, including a very nice one we saw moments ago to keep it 1-0 and giving his team a chance. I really think that is something Avila has done tonight. Maybe a less experienced keeper may have allowed in some of these softer goals, but keeping it a 1-0 game and basically on a goal that was hit off a defender's foot and was deflected, that who knows, Avila maybe would have had it covered. Doing a very good job keeping it 1-0.
Yeah, he did tonight. He's definitely done his absolute best to keep his team in the game, but again, he's only a sophomore as well, so a young team, young on goal, young on defense. As time goes by and as the experience starts to come, the coaching gets better, practices get better. Maybe something good could happen here in Oakdale for the Tartan Titans.
Be interesting. I'm excited to see this team in a few years. Kind of see some of the progress they may make.
Meanwhile, for Hill Murray, a good step in the right direction for them as they've played an extremely strong game tonight. Just looking at their ball possession, they've had the ball for well over 50 minutes compared to Tartan's 30 minutes. So something to build on definitely as they're moving forward.
And here's a good chance, a minute and a half left to go. Logan Jones is going to come in. He's kind of the long throw specialist, number 6. You see him there. He's hoping he can give somebody a chance with a throw into the box. Comes into the box. Good job, Sean Little, number 21. Little has been big tonight.
Have another free kick. We can see that there's a little space to throw it into, but they decide to look somewhere else.
Good throw. Doesn't quite go out for the corner. We'll have another throw. We're down to a minute, so Jones is going to have to take this one quick. He does. And Hill Murray defense is there. Boblets with it now. He's going to try and get it forward. Can Avila come out of the box and grab it? Well, he'll have to kick it away as he meets it just outside that 18-yard box. 40 seconds now left to go. Shuamua playing it forward. Curiel with it now, trying to keep it amongst 2 Hill Murray defenders. And we have a foul call. 30 seconds left to go as the ball rolls down to the other side of the field. They'll get another one in play. $20 seconds.
Get somebody in front of the net. Look for a tip. Look for a header.
15 seconds with the running clock. The ref picks up the ball. Now we're ready to go. 10 seconds. Bennett Pagonski to take it. We're going to stop the clock. And we might have a card being shown here, and we do. I believe that's Jurgensen. And that is probably for dissent. Maybe said something to the referee. Gets shown the card. More importantly, stops the clock with 6.4 seconds left to go.
7 has to come off.
First card of the night we've had here comes in the late stages. Wonder what he said, because that's a bad card to take this late in the game.
And Jurgensen's going to have to come off because of the yellow card. Sebastian Avila has left his goal, is now up for this kick because we only have 6 seconds left to go. Mine as well. Throw everyone forward, everything forward. Pagonski with the cross. And Mazer will have it, and he'll just run it out. Just like the time on the clock, that'll do it for this one. Hill Murray is going to take it 1-0, and they'll improve to 1-1 in Metro Conference play.
Sam, we saw a lot of good things on both sides here. Hill Murray was able to rebound nicely from their loss at North St. Paul. They got on the scoreboard early. They were able to hold on to the win. Good steps in the right direction for the Tartan Titans, though. But again, that goal drought that they've had all season long since August, it continues here for them tonight.
That's right. Hill Murray wins this one 1-0. For Alex Westad, I'm Sam Erickson. And for all of us here at TV19 Sports, we want to thank you for watching.